before rushing below deck, apologising profusely to the bar ladies and grabbing a bucket, sponge and some Jif. As the academy kid is on his knees, scrubbing the deck clean of poo that should by right still be up his backside, I think to myself, what a tragic episode. But we must carry on. An essential release. I know what you're thinking. How can professional sportsmen be so unprofessional? How can an England international allow such shenanigans to go on in his midst? I sometimes think the same. Then again, you try keeping control of a squad of professional rugby players let off the leash after a long, hard season. And let's face it, young men are known to be quite daft. Groups of young men even dafter. And groups of young sportsmen dafter still. But perhaps a more compelling explanation for professional sportsmen's occasional lapses in professionalism is because they spend so much time being professional. Being a professional rugby player is bloody hard work. It involves a lot of sacrifices, getting battered and bruised in training and on match days, repeated blows to the head, snapped and twisted muscles and broken bones, eating the right things, drinking the right things, keeping strictly to the rota, going to bed early and hardly ever going out. It's not like working down a mine. We love it and we get paid well, but it takes its toll, physically and mentally. So the odd team social serves a purpose. It's an essential release and a bonding experience, not much different to a miner having a few pints in the pub with his mates on a Friday night. There are two main ways a team bonds: by suffering on the field together, in training and on match days, and by sharing nights out together. I look at team socials as like a play or a film. Not that anyone else would want to watch it, but they are a little piece of human drama for those that take part. Team socials have their heroes, the teammate, normally Danny Cipriani, who walks off with the most beautiful woman anyone's ever laid eyes on. They're anti-heroes, the teammate who sticks a bottle of lager up his arse, does a handstand and shits himself. And they're villains, the teammate who punches someone for no good reason. There are the jokers, the teammate who can destroy a man with a single quip while reducing the rest of his pals to eye-watering, stitch-inducing laughter. The fools, the teammate who gets drunk, falls over and suffers a comedy injury. The foils, the teammate who kneels behind a man who gets pushed over, preferably into someone's garden. The eternal victims, the teammate who spends all night chatting up a woman, only to get custard pied again. The stock characters and bit part players, the teammate who passes out in the toilets after a couple of tequilas or is found curled up under a table, mumbling about mummy. A great team social has comedy, farce, absurdity, cruelty and tragedy, and preferably some singing. I hesitate to compare rugby players to soldiers. God knows those boys and girls do a more important job than we do, but there are similarities in the way we behave when we're not on the front line or field of play. Team socials for soldiers and sports people are about building camaraderie. They're about creating a communal history. Team socials top up the well of comedy so that the lads can keep going back for laughs time and time again. Professional rugby players, like players in any team sport, are adults who never stop laughing like children, because nothing in the world bonds a team better than laughter. I must have laughed 100 times every single day for 18 and a half seasons. Everything I did, and I did a lot of stupid things, I did for the story. It's like that line delivered by Jeremy in Peep Show after Mark has made a tit of himself again. At least you've got a funny story to tell. All I ever wanted was to sit at the back of the coach, swap stupid tales, and make people giggle. Abominable visions. I've never really recovered from my first proper team social. I was a teenager playing for Maidenhead when we went on a tour to France. The clubhouse coffers must have been a bit bare that year, taking the exotic rugby outposts of Boulogne and Calais. I was just about old enough to have the odd shandy if I asked nicely, but the dads in our group, excited beyond belief at being away from their wives for a couple of days, were under no such restrictions. And when groups of middle-aged men are away from their wives and under no restrictions, things often go horribly and disturbingly wrong. One traumatic evening, I was wandering around the hotel, no doubt bored and wanting a piece of some action, and heard an almighty racket coming from the bar. Curious, but also slightly scared, I gingerly pushed the door open and was greeted by the sight of my father dancing on a table, as naked as the day he was born. The abominable vision shocked me to the very core. You can't unsee something like that. Your father, legs splayed, backside exposed for all to see, cock and ball swinging in time to some banging Europop. I caught his eye, and then quietly closed the door, hoping no one else had seen me, and sloped off to bed. We never spoke of this episode, but it's why I haven't been able to look him square in the eye for the best part of 20 years. Sometimes I wake up in a cold sweat, having revisited the scene in my dreams. I'll start muttering to myself, the horror, like Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now.